What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another week, another month of the Daily Grind. We're done with October. We're in November. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a safe, fun weekend for Halloween on Friday, and then on Saturday, Sunday for the beginning of November. We're in November. Holiday season is here, folks. Holiday season is here. Real quick, I gotta just call out Brain Eclipse. Thank you very much for the 20 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. So that's 20 given memberships. If you see your name, lots of people there, a lot of lurkers back there that got gifted subs by Eclipse. Thank you. And 20, it will be 2 years, Eclipse. 2 years close, because I think you're at 23, right? Or 22, 23. So I think you're pretty damn close. Good morning, Eclipse. What's going on, Aku? Travis. Let me see who else is here. PS5 Blows. What's going on, Jason? Good morning. Big Mad Mo. Mr. Luke. Good morning. We are over on Twitch as well. So if you guys, I'm trying something out. Tomorrow we might go on Twitter as well. I'm just trying more places to put things out there. Because miraculously, just the 1 day a week that we do Twitch over on Thursday nights, the Generation X Gaming podcast that we do on Thursday nights, we're making a couple bucks over there. So I figured just from ad revenue. So not really over there, but I see you. I see you over there. So if you're over on Twitch, you want to watch on Twitch, you can watch over on Twitch. You want to come over on YouTube. YouTube is my main platform. That's where I like to be. That's where I like the ecosystem to be. That's where I like the community to be. But if you prefer to watch over on Twitch, I can't promise you. I can't promise you that I'll be here every single day on Twitch. But we are on Twitch, and when we are here, I appreciate you coming over. What's going on, Alien? I see you over there. I see you. I see you over there. What's going on, Sarge? What's going on, Altern? Wonder Rose, good morning. Water Bear, good morning. Let me see. Anybody else? Anybody else that I'm missing? I don't know why Twitch in my feed here, it's coming in twice. I don't know why it's coming in twice. Oh, I know why it's coming in twice. Hold on one second. I was like, why is it coming in? Can I pause or mute video source? That's that. Is it this one? Stop and close this source. This might stop Twitch over here in my stream real fast. Let me see if that's no. We should be good. We should be good. Real quick, someone in Twitch say something in chat. I want to see if it comes up double again. Someone say something in Twitch. You can go back to lurking afterwards. Okay, good. We fixed it. Thank you, Mr. Luke. All right, we are playing with Mr. Luke as well over this afternoon for some Arc Raiders. Man, I am loving Arc Raiders. We're going to talk about the roadmap. We're going to talk about just PvE, PvP talk that's going around right now for Arc Raiders. We're going to talk about the casual mode they added to Battlefield 6 with 32 bots in each match. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about Destiny Rising. Revenue dropped 65% in October of 2025. So lots of things we're going to talk about. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just go over news stories, have conversations. I give you my thoughts and opinions, and if you give your thoughts and opinions as well. So I do appreciate you. Oh, look at that. I forgot that we had stuff over there. Can I move that? Yeah, I can move that. Hold on. Let me shrink that a little bit, because that's going to be right in the way. So we'll put that so it looks like it's on the TV screen over here. We'll put that on the TV screen over there. So appreciate it very much. I might have to shut those off. I have stuff over on Twitch. I am completely disorganized when it comes to Twitch streaming and stuff. So if people start putting stuff over there, it's gonna pop up, which is fine. I'm not complaining about it. It just is what it is. And like I said, the morning show is basically, I just cover news stories. I just give you my thoughts and opinions on the news stories. It's not a debate. It's not anything like that. It's to get you through. I'm in competition with Xbox and Sony and Netflix and TikTok. I'm also in competition with everybody. I'm just giving you 2 hours of your day where you can come and hang out, chat video games, chat within chat. You can chat with people in chat. You can chat with me. Doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to give you some entertainment for 2 hours of your day. And if you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. There's other ways to help us. You can get this mug. This mug is on the shop. It's no pre-order, no day one, no full price for a half-ass game. You know, we love our games here, and we also love our games that are full price or not full price that are not finished. You know what I'm saying? If they're not finished, don't charge full price. But you can get this beautiful mug in the store down below. What's going on, Robert Jones? What's going on, Ray? And if you like the music that you heard in the morning, that's all on Spotify, iHeart, Pandora. You can stream it, you can download it, you can buy it. Whatever your little heart desires, you can do any of these things. I appreciate it very much. Real quick, I just want to say my condolences to the Canadian sports fans out there. You were so close, man. You were so close to beating the champions, but the Dodgers, and I'm not a Dodgers fan, but the Dodgers have won back-to-back championships in Major League Baseball. What a freaking, can I just say, what a freaking World Series that was. What a World Series. You got 18-inning games, you got 11-inning games, you got 7-game World Series, back and forth, crazy plays happening. The fans won, let me tell you. Okay, if you're a baseball fan, it's probably one of the better World Series that's been there in the last, I don't know, I want to say the last at least 10 to 15 years. Like, it was so good. So good. But congratulations to Dodger fans. My condolences to Blue Jay fans, but your Blue Jays look good. You guys have a good team. Have a good team. Roic says, I played about an hour of Outer Worlds 2 over the weekend, and after an hour, I had to stop. It was so boring. I hear good things, Roic, and I also hear kind of bad things. What's going on, Cybersword? Let's see. I'm still mourning the loss. So damn heartbreaking. Yeah. Let me tell you, when you guys, that crowd in Toronto, holy shit. It was infectious. And then when something bad happened, it was like you could hear a pin drop. Like the air just got sucked out of the room. Water says, just not better than the Dodgers. I don't know, Water. I personally think, I mean, obviously there was a couple of close plays and whatnot on both sides. I think the Blue Jays, I mean, obviously the Dodgers are a better team. They won, right? They won the thing. But the Blue Jays look good. They have a lot of people on their team that weren't like superstars that showed up. They have a lot of good talent on that team. Altern says, thanks, 30. Now I can hear your songs instead of the radio of Battlefield 6. You're welcome. You are welcome, Altern. Yeah, the newest song, Embark for Glory, is up on Spotify. It went up there yesterday. So I got a couple songs up there. So if you look up my name, there's a song I wrote for my wife up on that playlist too. And she's like, I can't listen to it because I sent it to her through a text, and she always had to open up this like weird player. So I said, you know what? I'll just publish it. So I posted the song that I wrote for my wife up there. That's also on Spotify now, which is pretty cool. I have to say, it's pretty cool. All right, let's start off. Let's talk about Arc Raiders. I'm addicted to Arc Raiders. Okay, and I know many other people are addicted to Arc Raiders. There's something about it. And again, I know I'm late to the party, I guess, to extractions, but this extraction is a much more casual extraction than it is to other video games on the market. And there is a hardcore aspect of this, but there's also a very casual base to this. Now, this is the looking ahead for the roadmap. But as this is up, I kind of just want to put this up there. Here, we'll put this there so people know what we're talking about. But at the same time, I kind of want to talk about there's a thing going on right now, and there's two sides of Arc Raiders, just like any other game, right? Just like any other game. But it's funny to me because, remember, this game started off as a PvE. 100% PvE, was supposed to be like a Destiny, like looter type of a game like that. And then the developers, up until recently, said that the reason we changed it is because it just wasn't fun. There was something missing about it, okay? Then they changed it to the PvP VE. Okay, so it's player versus environment. And people started playing it and said, oh man, this is really good. It brought me over. I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. No, I'm not going to play it, but you can go listen to it, right? It won me over. I really like Arc Raiders. There's just something about it. I like going in solo. I like going in with duos and trios. There's two different experiences happening right now, okay? Duos is like trios, okay? You go in with a duo, you're going to go PvP, you're going to go in, but if you're in a group of 3, it's 100% PvP. Anytime someone sees you, it's shoot first, shit talk later. Okay. Duos, it's like you can be a mix with maybe solos or trios, right? It all depends. But for the most part, it's pretty similar to the three versus 3, or trios, I should say. Okay. But solo in Arc Raiders is a completely different beast, right? And I said the other day, before it even came out, when I was watching people when I play the tech test, I said solos brings the temperature way down. Like way down. And I said this before the game launched. I said we might be getting the same scenario that we got with Fallout 76, right? Bethesda, when it came out with Fallout 76, and hear me out, I'm not comparing it to the technical wise. I'm speaking of that Fallout 76 was supposed to be a PvP game. It was supposed to be that people came out of the hole, okay, from underground, from the bunkers, come onto the surface in a post-apocalyptic world, and you were supposed to fight. You were supposed to fight. But then something happened, right? Then something happened that Bethesda didn't expect, where people weren't fighting. They were playing together, right? They were playing together, right? And Bethesda was like, no, you're supposed to fight. You're supposed to fight. Right? And all of a sudden, the community was like, no, we're not going to fight. And they had to actually change the game to move towards more public events, more events like that in the game where people were going and working together. Right now in Arc Raiders, okay, right now, what's going on, Argus? Right now, inside of Arc Raiders, solo, there's still people that go around that are bloodthirsty and kill people. But when you're playing solo right now, the PvPers are getting upset. PvPers are getting upset because they're going in solo, right? And they're trying to kill people, but a group of people are working together and they're killing you. So much so when you're in a game, you'll hear either people say toxic player or hater on the server. It's weird, I know. Okay. But I noticed this when I was playing solo this weekend, where solos all got into the game. They all started playing and they all like gathered together, not on purpose, like organically. And then someone would come in and start to shoot them or whatever. And then they would join forces, team up, and then take out people that were being, haters or toxic players. And I really don't think it's them saying it's toxic. It's just that the community that's solo is meeting up with people in the game so they can complete the quests, so they can complete the arcs and go up against the arcs and stuff like that. So what you're seeing right now in the community is that solo is like not very, but more friendly than if you played with a group of people and 2 groups meeting up in a trio or duos to work forces, right? And I don't know if this is going to last, but it does seem like a lot of people like playing the solo and a lot of people work together. Like, you find super nice people. You saw when we were playing in the tech test, okay, before the game came out, when I played a solo match, met a guy in a building, okay, and all of a sudden he was like, hey, yeah, I'll take you over there, and showed me, and we met somebody else. We took down a Rocketeer with our group of strangers in a solo game. And by the end of that, I just thought that was really cool. That's what sold me. I was like, well, that's cool that I can do PvP. And I do like the fact that someone could double cross you at any moment. But like I said before the game even launched, after the tech test, I said that they're going to add PvE type events in this game where you can still shoot people. But what's going to happen is, if you have 16 people or 18? I think it's 18 people. 18 people in the match. And let's say 3 solos in that match are toxic or PvPers. We'll just call them PvPers. Okay? And the other 15 don't want to play PvP. Well, guess what's going to happen? Okay? the people that want to play PvP are going to get melted in 2 seconds just because of vast numbers, majority of the time. And they're gonna self cleanse their server that they're on because they want to do the quests or whatever. So there's events going on right now. So if you look at this event for the roadmap, there's an event right now inside Spaceport where I think it's called the launch tower, where everyone jumps in and there's more loot, but at the top of the tower. But you have to work together to beat all the arc and get to the top of the tower and then loot the thing. Okay. Now, you work together, but you get to the top, and then people can start killing each other when they extract or whatnot, but it's just in a little event. And if you see these events that are happening here, this one says Community Unlock event, this one says Flicker Flames event. They already have events inside the game itself that make people work together. So I see, just like I said before the game even came out, that they will put a dedicated PvE type of game mode in here. And I know a lot of people are talking about this as, well, it doesn't need PvE only, right? Well, remember, this game was supposed to be just PvE, okay? Just like a Destiny. And they have a 10-year plan, just like Destiny. And the only PvP that was in the game was the multiplayer PvP type of stuff. What I do see happening, I should say, down the road, is that there will be a dedicated PvE-esque type of server. Now, if they drop where it's less XP or whatever it is, but there's a lot more casual. And the reason I say there's a lot more casual, if you look at this number, okay, this number this weekend got up to 354,000 players on Steam. There's a lot of people. I'm not even playing crossplay against other people, okay? I'm only playing on console for PlayStation and Xbox against the people I'm going up against, okay? This weekend, they also had a server problem, and it was crossplay problems or whatever. So everyone was shutting off crossplay. So PC was mostly playing against PC. Console was playing against console and type of stuff. And the lobbies are full, right? The 18 people per match, they're full. You go in pretty fast. You don't really wait very long. And I see the player base right now, the PvPers, are upset because they're like, this game doesn't need PvE. Because they're worried that if there's PvE, the people that they shoot easily, that don't want to sweat, don't want to fight, we're going to be gone. And then these people will have to go up against the other PvPers that are sweaty, right? And there's always got to be a high man and a low man on a totem pole. Well, if you have the PvEers that don't want to PvP, they're the low man on the totem pole. Where you have the people that want to PvP against these people down below them, okay, but not up above, okay, they're the middle guys. But if these guys leave, then these guys are the low man on the totem pole, which means the people that are the sweats, the people that are just better at games, the people that are younger, faster, understand the game better for extractions, for multiplayer, for team matches and stuff like that. If you go up against Shroud, or if you go up against, I don't know, just a big name streamer, or people that play with the big streamers, or the people that are just love these types of games, the people that like to shit on these people are now the low man on the totem pole because the PvEers will go play solo. And when they go play solo, they kind of make their own little world here of PvE realm, okay, because of mass numbers that don't want to play PvP. So this is why I think, even before the game came out, I think that they are going to make a PvE mode, zone, something that's going to happen in the long run. And I think it's funny that the PvPers are upset that the PvEers don't want to play PvP, right? And vice versa. The PvEers are upset that the PvPers want to play PvP. Well, the game is what it is, right? The game is what it is. It is a PvPvE game. And you're not always going to get out with the stuff, right? You're not always going to escape with your things, and you have to start playing what the game is giving you. As far as use the augments, where you get the prison pockets, or the safe pockets, okay? Where maybe you won't get a whole inventory of stuff, but you can get the little things and put them in your safe pockets. So if you do die during PvP and you don't escape, okay, then you will escape and you'll slowly make progression, which is why I think this game is as popular as it is right now, because it respects the player's time. I know a lot of people think it doesn't respect your time, but it does, because you make the choices that you want to make. You can sneak, you can go in guns blazing, you can store the stuff in your pocket, okay, you can slowly get a hatch key, If you don't want to go to the extraction points, well, then you have to get garbage to sell, to make money, to get the key, to bring into your stuff, put in your safe spot. When you get a whole bunch of stuff, then escape to the hatch. There's no timer. There's no nothing. You just hit the button. Hatch opens up. You go down. End of run. Okay. They've done such a good job of respecting your time in this game based on the gear that you get for how long you can stay in. You can literally go in. You don't have to stay 20 minutes. You can go in, grab the stuff, and get out. You don't have to put 20 minutes in. You can put 5 minutes in. You can completely play the game how you want, and it's wonderful, in my opinion. Okay. So now I want to talk about their roadmap. Okay. Which is funny because they said they didn't want roadmaps, but yet now the game is successful. Okay. Now the game is successful, and they're like, hey, you know what? Let's show them the roadmaps. Okay. And what I've also talked about in the past, not because of Arc Raiders, but other games in the past going way, 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 way back to Sea of Thieves. Okay. Sea of Thieves back in the past, when they first came out, they released the game, and it was very shallow-esque of the game, right? There wasn't a lot going on, but they had 3 groups making content for Sea of Thieves. So the game launched kind of bare bone at the beginning, right? I tested it for like 3 years before it launched, and when it came out, I was surprised they were launching what they did. But then they had one team work on one expansion. Then they had another team right after that work on the next expansion, and so on and so forth. And then when Marvel's Avengers came out, I talked about how companies should have a good enough amount of content in their game, and then they have stuff in the pipeline. That way they give themselves, and they're always just kind of releasing the stuff. Now, you can say that, well, it's just stuff they cut out of the game, okay? But when you pay for a $60, $70, $80 game, and you're like, oh, they're holding stuff back. But now when you put a $40 game in there, and they're constantly updating it little by little, okay, you don't feel ripped off because you didn't pay the full price. You didn't pay the $60, $70, $80 for the video game. You paid $40 for the video game, okay? So now they're coming out with content. They're coming out with stuff. It says, looking ahead of Arc Raiders 2025 roadmap. Welcome to the Raiders. We have joined us since the launch, and our development team is hard at work at expanding the world, introducing new Arc threats, adding many other news and exciting ways to play in 2025. Okay, these will include an expansion to the Rust Belt, our 5th map, okay, Stella Montis, arrives in November. Now, we don't know when it arrives in November, but it arrives in November, okay? Then we have the community event, special themed community events in November and December. So 2 different events in November and then in December. Then we have new Arc machines, introducing Arc machines that will also challenge your ability and tactical planning. Okay, so they're adding new enemies into the game. Okay, now new Arc machines, introducing new Arc machines that also change. I already read that. Okay, it says fresh utility items and weapons. Expand your arsenal with weapons and gadgets designed to take on the Thoughtus of Arc and rival raiders. Okay, new quests. As a raider, your time in the Rust Belt is not just about survival. It's also about rediscovering what was lost and expanding quests, right? And again, some people are just going for quests. Some people are going for junk. Some people are just upgrading their stuff. Some people are trying to progress the story. Whatever it is, everyone's doing little things here and there. Okay. And because there's so many kind of different maps, and not only is there different maps, but there's different maps and different things. So like there's the night raids, then there's the weather changing. It completely changes the dynamic of each thing. They're going to add a snowboard in December, right? Over the maps that we already have. So the maps, I think what's going to happen is the same maps that you're already playing, but now covered in snow, which I'll talk about in just a second, because the way it could completely change the way you play the game just because snow is on the ground. Okay. It says continuous refinements from bug fixes, balance tweaks, quality of life features, and more. They've done a pretty damn good job as far as the quality of life at launch. I'll be honest with you. It says, we're thankful to have the journey with us and also continue to refine and grow the game and the feedback in mind. Keep your eyes on the horizon, only beginning with the store of Arc Raiders. Now, again, what we see here is the snow map. I want to talk about the snow map, right? It says snow map conditions, snowfall map conditions, which means that the map that you're already on, if it's the dam, if it's the spaceport, all of a sudden, they could have a regular map, they could have a night map, like they do with night raids, and they can also have snow, and then they can have snow night raids and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but they could. And the potential for this, for the snow maps, I think is pretty crazy, because what happens in snow, right? Every track that you do will be seen, so people will be able to see where you go, right? So PvPers might like the snow a little bit better because they can track you down. Okay. 2, the Ark could probably see you better. Okay. 3, the outfits that you get in the game are all like dark, bright colors. Okay. Well, I had to tell you, if you're in snow, you're going to stick out like a spotlight on that if someone's up all the way to the top there and looking down. Instead of just seeing a black dot now running in the distance, they're going to be like, hey, look at that guy. He's wearing the orange outfit that was in the battle pass or the Arc deck. Okay? They see you now. It completely changes the dynamic of what the maps are that you've already played 10, 15 hours of the dam. Now imagine the dam, but with snow instead of the regular map. Okay? Now there could be different things that happen. Now, I don't know if they're doing this, but let's say the snow, it all of a sudden makes you freeze, and now you have to do something different with your character. Maybe you have to find something to keep you warm. You know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting, and the attention to detail and stuff like this is going to be very hard, or very cool, I should say, not hard, because now stuff could be buried underneath the snow, right? It could be a little flutter over the stuff, but some of the things that are on the ground, you might not be able to see now, right? If it's a raider cache on the ground, or when something lands on the ground, it gets covered by the snow, you won't know anymore until you get closer. So you have to slowly go through and be methodical of where you go because you don't want people to find where you're going because they'll follow your tracks. Like little things like this is pretty cool. Now, I've never even paid attention if we leave footprints in the ground. I never even looked. Maybe you guys can let me know. But I think it's pretty cool that just by adding a condition on the maps that you're already playing completely changes the whole landscape of that map. Now, the Stellas Montes map, the one picture they show, it shows like it's inside of some sort of facility. Okay. I don't know if they show it here. No. They show one picture of Stellas Montes, and it looks like a factory. And I wonder, you can see the prints in the mud and sand. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Luke. Right? So I wonder if Stellas Montes is an all-inclusive indoor type of facility, like a giant facility, maybe a more close-quarter map, right? I'm trying to think of sort of like, remember in Battlefield 2042, there was that little factory that was going on, and when you went inside the factory, you saw the machines like building stuff. Like that's what I feel like you'll see, but obviously it won't be building stuff. Maybe it will. I don't know. But I feel like this is going to be a interior close combat type of stuff, which is interesting because, again, if it is, it's another map that PvPers might drift towards. And if the PvPers are going towards certain different maps here and there, it kind of opens it up for the rest of the maps that you're going on, and you won't feel as PvP going on in certain boards. Again, we're not there yet. We'll see what happens. The only big discrepancy I have with Arc Raiders is the amount of pricing for the microtransactions. That's really only my biggest problem with Arc Raiders, is that the store is way too much for the cosmetic skins. Okay? Now, this is my complaint for anybody that has microtransactions in their store, but for a $40 game to charge $22 for a microtransaction for a skin, in my opinion, it's a little, but I believe that's what Nexus wanted, right? Not what they wanted as far as Embark wanted. Again, I think the prices of the store are for like a free-to-play type of thing instead of a $40 game. I'm not saying they can't charge. I just think $22 for a skin is a little ridiculous. Now, I also don't know if they're going to do the decks free every season, if the deck, the Raiders deck is free, or if it's going to be paid afterwards. Not too sure. But they do give you the coins inside the thing. Maybe down the line, they also give you ways to find, like potentially find the Raiders coins inside the actual map itself, like a very small grouping of it. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, I think Arc Raiders, obviously, if you look at the numbers again, is doing fantastic. 354,000. It went up as the weekend went on. So overall, having a blast with the game. I really do enjoy the PvP. I like the concept of that people can work together, but they also, like, they have to work together because of the Arc, and the Arc is actually pretty difficult. You'll see a lot of people die from just getting overrun by because if you see a snitch and you don't have strong enough weapon to take out the snitch, the snitch comes down and all of a sudden like blows you out of the water because they call in backup and they'll drop like 3 Hornets or 2 Wasps or whatever, or calls in the Rocketeer or calls in the Leaper. It's pretty crazy when it gets to it. Now, obviously, I've been watching a lot of videos this weekend of people that know how to take the big elites out, as I call the Rocketeer or the Leaper or the what is it called, the Bastion, I think it is. These guys are the elites, and if you have a pretty powerful gun, you can take them out decently fast, and especially if you have a wolf pack grenade or anything like that, it's easier to do. But for the lower tier people that still have commons or greens, even blues, if you don't kill the snitch fast enough, it's calling in backup and you're going to be overrun, and then you get taken out either by them or by third party that comes in and picks you off as you're fighting certain things. But again, overall, I think the game is actually in a really good spot now. We'll see what the numbers do in the next couple of months as the events of November and December come through. Does it stay strong? Does it find its player base? I think it will. But what I'm saying is, do we see it lean more towards where people are okay with the PvP, or do we see them implement more PvE, even though it's PvE type of events, but these events like the Flame event or the Community Unlock event here, or even the events in the game right now, where you go all the way up to the Spaceport Tower, will it be more events where, even though that Embark wants PvP, but the solos kind of dictate if they want to be assholes or not assholes, okay? And again, I don't care if you're an asshole. Like, if you want to play, you play the game how you want to play. If you want to kill people, right? But I wonder if it'll have that same sort of thing, like I said in the beginning of this whole speech, of Fallout 76, where Bethesda wanted it to be a PvP game, but the community came together and was like, yeah, we ain't doing that, okay? And the majority said, like, there's still people that try to kill you, but it doesn't fly inside of Fallout 76. So I wonder if that's what's going to happen to Arc Raiders as the PvPers go play other PvP games, and the PvEers continue playing this game, and they make it into their own PvE servers, even though PvP has evolved. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the concept in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Appreciate it. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. Scroll back up. Cybersource, I expect it to be good, but not as good as it is. I can't stop playing. Right now, I think Cybersword, I think we're still in the honeymoon phase. Obviously, it's the first weekend. It feels much longer, but it's in the first weekend. I mean, look at Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 honeymoon lasted about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And now you have a drop-off, and then you have the player base that's playing, and that'll slowly fade again once Call of Duty comes out. Is it this week? I think Call of Duty comes out this week. So we're still in the honeymoon phase. Altera says, I love solos. Solos is, like I said before, when we play the tech test, solos is completely different than when you're playing with duos or trios. I think they add a non-PvP game mode. 100% in this game. Just because that's what the community would want. I mean, again, Arc Raiders and Embark know the numbers. They see who's playing. Every match, every single match, they give a survey. How did you like the PvP? How did you like the AI? How did you like, right? They ask every single time. They know the numbers. They'll take all the data and go, you know what? 64% of the, again, I'm just making up a number. 64% of the people don't like PvP, right? And they'll be like, well, if we want to keep these players to buy those $22 microtransactions, well, then we need to do something to keep these people in the game. Right? Because if this number is this high and they're spending this much money, and then if they don't put something in the game, they won't have this money. Well, they're gonna put it in. And this is why people say that streamers ruin games, but they really don't. The masses, the numbers that come into the actual company, they see who's playing, who's not playing, who's spending, who's not spending. They see it, and they change the game based on those numbers, not because Tim the Tatman says he likes Battle Royale or he likes PvP. You know what I'm saying? Jason says, I like unpredictability of the game. Lets people do what they want. Exactly. I like it. I'm okay with the PvP. Jay Breezy says it's great. I'd be running an extract to someone already there. You'll scream out, wait. Most people say, come on, bud, waiting on you. Until they don't. I've had a person say, yeah, come on, and then shotgun me in the face Okay. Here's my rule of thumb. If I run in to a place and there's already people there, I am not touching that console. I do not touch that console. I keep my eyes on them at all times. I let one of them touch the console, or I wait for the timer to go out. I am not putting my back towards them because that's 100% they're going to take you out. But that's just my experience. Altern says, isn't it an extraction of BR but with extra steps? Yes and no. A BR, you're opening up treasures and stuff, but you're never keeping any of the stuff, right? In the extraction, you're keeping the stuff to use at your base to craft stuff and do stuff, where BR is literally drop in, grab a weapon, see if you can get the best weapon to beat that, to be the best at that round. That's it. Eclipse says, Jason, exactly what the magic. You never know what someone's going to say. They'll team up with you just once and get also the loot, and they'll also kill you if they try to have and defend yourself. Can I just say I've stopped watching everything else on YouTube. I love watching Arc Raiders, right? Every raid that you go into is its own little mini series, right? It is. It's like you have nothing, then you're excited about the people, what they find, and then you're excited to see if they escape, right? Then you have PvP events, and you're like, oh my god, are they going to make it? Then they have to fight it's like a small little mini series in that 30-minute cycle that happens, and that could last 30 minutes or it could last 5 minutes. I absolutely love it. Windows says, good morning, 30. I can agree to this. When I played with my friends, the squad, sometimes PvE, but solo, a lot more with PvE, even though sometimes I do get PvP'd. I love trials. Level 23 of the phase 2 of Expedition. I haven't even unlocked. I'm level 12 or 13, so I haven't even got to the trials or anything like that. But I know of it because I've been watching a lot of people play it. Jay Breezy says, game keeps you on edge. What's going on, Worlds? How you doing? Let's see. Luke says, I like seeing the solos grouping up. I think that what matters is the game inventory can be also accumulated. Real life is a different beast. Kylo, what's going on, Kylo? Said, I played about 5 runs with my buddies. It was pretty fun. Kind of like it more casual Tarkov, which I'm here for. Yeah, and I think that's why they're getting the 354,000 people concurrent, because it feels definitely more casual. Let's see what else. Windows says, oh, and Scrappy levels up to level 5, and I have him at 4 already. I can't find the goddamn pairs. I know they're probably on, what's the second? Is it Blue Gate? Not Blue Gate. What's the second? What's the map? There's a dam in the center. If you're looking at the screen, it's over on the, my left, your right on the screen. Or I should say, I'm pointing on the right, but it's literally my left. I forget what that map is called. I think it's there, but I haven't found him yet. Crowd says, Mike Travis said that the game will be dead in 5 months. Mark it on the calendar, April 3rd, 2026. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let's see. Charles Hawk says, it's a wrap for Battlefield. Twitter and YouTube COD streamers are already posting kill races and high kill games in BR. Oh, are they? Well, Battlefield's numbers... Oh, here's actually another thing I want to talk about for Arc Raiders real fast. Look at the amount of... Where is it? There's 40,000 reviews, and this number keeps going up. Okay? 87%, almost 88%. Okay? 40,000 reviews. If you go to Battlefield, you got 186,000 reviews, and this number keeps continuing to go down. Okay, it's at 65.9%. Now, a lot of people are saying it's being review bombed or whatnot, but I'll be honest. I said it before the game came out, hence why I didn't get the game. Battlefield 6 is not Battlefield. It's Battlefield by name, but it's not Battlefield. Okay, we're gonna go over a Battlefield story in just a second, but they did get a tick up though. They got a tick up for the Battle Royale, and then it slowly went down again. Right? And Battle Royale was supposed to bring in a lot more people, but it didn't. It just brought in the same people that were already playing when it came in originally. Right? Here's the people that came in originally, and it's never gone above again of 560, which, again, I'm not saying it's bad in any way, shape, or form. It's just the BR was supposed to take it off. Other games are coming out, and I feel like, remember, this game wasn't supposed to come out until the spring. They pushed it forward. Again, my thoughts, don't know if it's official, but they said it's coming out before March because they were going to push it. But then Grand Theft Auto decided that they were going to push theirs next year, and they said, oh, by the way, Battlefield 6 is ready to go. And honestly, it's not. It's still broke, buggy, and unfinished in certain places. And now that they have BR, and now they have Portal, and now that they're changing all this stuff, they really don't know what the game is. Windows says they said some will free and some pay, and some limited time events ones will also be a mixture. If they lower the price of the cosmetic skins to half of what they're charging right now, I think they'll be fine. But I don't think they'll do that. Cybersword says, my honeymoon phase is 7,000 hours and counting in Tarkov. I may not be the average gamer. Yeah, I don't think you're the average gamer, Cybersword. I don't think you're the average gamer. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Ron Slusher, morning, Ron, says Marathon is taking notes. Are they taking notes, Ron, or are they just going to steal them? I'm going to go with stealing. It's a low blow. Too early? Too soon. Eclipse says, me too, 30. I've spent altogether playing it and watching it probably about 40 hours. I have done with this with a game since Elden Ring. I think the last game I watched like this was Division 1 and 2 is the last game I like really, that and Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. I haven't watched content like for a game like this since those two. Grand Theft Auto 5 Online role playing and Division 1 and 2 stuff when it came out. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. Oh, Aku, are you good to play tonight for Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, or do I need to play Arc Raiders? I'm good with whatever. I know you're traveling, so. I'm looking forward to Jared Perry's full review. I don't know who that is. House. All right. Let's go with another Arc Raiders story, which I think is pretty cool that they're doing this. Now, I don't know how many people are doing this, but I saw this headline. I was like, oh, that's cool if they are combating against cheaters, because I don't think I've seen any cheaters, but it says Arc Raiders has your back if your items are stolen by hackers. If you guys like what I do, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Arc Raiders isn't safe from cheaters or hackers, and most games aren't. There's a chance that you could also make some of your inventory stolen or taken through nefarious or illegal means at any point. If this happens, Embark Studios has your back with even lost items in the Arc Raiders, which is interesting. Okay, finding and losing items is part of the extraction shooter formula. You win some, you lose some. That's how it goes. But there's also ink when it also lose hard-earned goods to cheaters, and it can happen. And people are more than happy to extort at efforts of your own gain. Can I just say, I don't understand. I mean, I've never been a cheater, so I can't tell you why people cheat. I'm assuming it's just because they're lazy and they don't want to actually put the work in. And they think it's fun in a video game because they think they're not hurting their own. They don't think they're hurting anybody, but they're cheating. Again, I'm just taking general shots here. Okay. It says finding and losing items is part of the extraction, like I said. It said, however, though, it does happen in Arc Raiders. You should automatically get your stuff back. Okay. It says cheaters and hackers don't prosper in Arc Raiders. Okay. As shown as Arc Raiders, if you're targeted by a hacker, your items will be returned. Okay. It says, quote, your items were lost due to unfair play, but also managed to get them back for you. Now we're available for you to claim and take it with you in your next journey topside. You're committed to building the environment where gameplay is about skill, teamwork, and fun, not unfair advantages. Okay, thank you for being part of this mission. Together we're building Arc Raiders into a fair and fun experience for everyone, says the official in-game message. Now, I want to know what the nefarious and stuff ways are. Like, how is someone stealing your stuff? Has this happened to anybody in chat? Okay. Has this happened to anybody in chat that someone's like stealing your stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like you're being shot because maybe they're doing a wall hack or maybe an aimbot or something like that. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. I haven't really done a lot of research or anything. Like I said, I just saw the headline. I was like, all right, we'll talk about it. Okay, it says, we did some digging into the original Reddit post, and it seems that the original user didn't report the cheater or submit a report. It was an automatic message from the devs informing them what had happened. See, so I'm assuming that no one could tell if they're being cheated or not. Okay? It says, it's unclear what continues unfair play. Okay, it says, imagine anything pertaining to cheating, hacking, or items being stolen that shouldn't ordinarily be allowed to be taken falls under the umbrella. Okay, Arc Raiders itself, it said, in Arc Raiders, if you encounter cheaters or unfair play, Embark will refund your items of your inventory. So there it goes. It shows you what they stole. Okay, it tells you what time, and it says the exact thing we already read up above. Pretty good. It says, have you encountered any hackers or cheaters in Arc Raiders so far? Let us know. I don't think anyone would know. I don't think anyone would know. Because this is why I shut off crossplay, though. I shut off crossplay because obviously someone on a mouse and keyboard can move much faster around than someone, 99.9% of the people that play on console. So I shut off crossplay so I didn't have to deal with mouse and keyboard. Now, I wouldn't call mouse and keyboard cheating. Their sensitivities and stuff, they're just better at gaming. Okay, I'm a more casual guy. I'm not going to hold that against them, but I'm also not going to put myself in that situation where I go up against them and go, they're cheating. I don't think I've come across a cheater. I think I've come across plenty of people that are a better gamer than me. I never thought someone was like cheating because they shot me through a wall, or they were like, I don't know, doing something nefarious with the guns themselves, or hacking something in that way or shape or form. I don't know. So I don't know what they do, and like I don't think they actually have to explain. I think they leave it kind of broad, because if they tell you why they're doing it or what they're doing, then more people try to figure it out. If they stay quiet and say, look, if you're cheating, we're going to find you. But I want to know what they're doing to the cheater. Okay, I'm glad that they're giving your stuff back. Okay, but I want to know what they're doing to the cheaters. If there's an actual cheater and they actually stole your stuff or did something nefarious, are they letting them keep doing what they're doing and just get the stuff back and let them keep playing? Or are they banning them? That's what I would like to know. I don't need to know the details on how they're figuring it out, how to ban them, okay? But I do want to know if they're punishing the people, because if you don't say anything and you leave this like falsehood of we're going to catch you type of thing, but you don't say, hey, if you're cheating, we're going to get your stuff back, and for the cheater that's happening, they're going to be banned for life or something like that. That's what I would like to see. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about this? Do you think this is, obviously, I don't think anyone's like, this is a terrible idea. No, I think this is a fantastic idea. So what do you think, though? Do you think they should open up and say, hey, we're banning people? Or do you think this is it? This is just a shot across the bow. If someone's cheating, we're getting your stuff back for you, and nothing more from that. Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of the other videos. Thanks for watching. Ron Slusher says, Mind's Eye's honeymoon is still going. Are there still people playing Mind's Eye? Let me see. Let's see what Mind's Eye is doing. Now, I know that it's on the Epic Store, right? Let's see how many people are playing Mind's Eye. I mean, these are record-breaking numbers here, Ron. Record-breaking numbers. Oh, well, I think Bleeding Edge is lower. 4 people right now are playing Mind's Eye. Now, again, Mind's Eye is not a multiplayer game. It's a single-player game. But on Steam, 3,302 people, and 4 people are playing the game right now. It's good stuff. Concord is lower, yes, but it also doesn't exist anymore. Clip says, I saw a cool clip where Ko shot an arc and a propellers came off, and it actually killed another arc in the air. I thought it was cool. Oh, it like blew up and like flung across and hit another one? That is pretty cool. That also means, Eclipse, if it can blow up another arc, then the shrapnel can come off and hit somebody else as well and kill them. That's pretty cool. Eclipse says they're trying to be the Bleeding Edge. Windsor says, well, what were you saying? You couldn't find for Scrappy? I can't find the lemons and pears. I think I have one pear. I don't even know where I found it. And I think it's on the other map. I don't think it's on the dam at all. I think it's on the, because I went to the other map once because of the quests, and then I went to Spaceport like a few times. So I don't know where it is on the map because I haven't been really a lot to the other maps yet, but it has to be on the other maps. I'm just missing the fruit that I need. I think I found it when we went to, me and Luke were playing, and we found a whole bunch of like plants in this one building, and I think I happened to find a pear inside there, but I don't know where that is. Like, I'm still learning the map, let alone maps. I've played the dam, I would say 9.5, 10 hours of my 12 hours that I've played. All right, the next story that we're going to talk about, this makes me laugh. Okay? Battlefield 6, as I hold up the mug that says no pre-order, no day one, no full price for a half-ass game. Links in the description down below. Battlefield 6, I mean, if it's something I called or not, I mean, who couldn't see this? Okay. Make the problem, sell the solution, change the problem, put the problem in the actual main campaign, or the main multiplayer aspect of it, right? So we know that Portal came into the game when the game launched. People started making, and someone already made Metro, by the way. They made Metro in the Portal. So Portal came out. People started, because of the fundamental design of Battlefield 6 by EA, by DICE, they said, we want to make it grindy. And the challenges are ridiculous for some of the challenges, and the actual percent that you move up as you play Battlefield is very slow, okay? People are not complaining because they want to grind. They're complaining because the actual grind is ridiculously slow. So much so that they're selling XP tokens and whatnot to get you faster, okay? So people said, we don't want to do that, so they started making XP farms inside of Portal. 2 weeks in, they said, we're not doing this because we're not going to let you do the XP farms, even though you could do and play how you want to play, and we're giving you full XP in Portal. That's what they said before everyone paid money for it. Then once everyone bought it, okay, now they changed the actual thing. And now because they changed the way, fundamentally, the way Battlefield is played, because they lied to you and said that you could play Portal and play the way you want in the XP, even though everyone with a brain cell between their eye sockets and their ears know that everyone was going to make an XP farm inside of Portal. Well, they did. And then because people were making so many XP farms because they didn't want to play the actual game to actually make XP, it started hurting the servers. And because it was hurting the servers and they gave everybody that bought the game a server for themselves, they had to fix it. And because the way they fixed it was, well, they got rid of the XP farming. So you couldn't put bots for full XP anymore. They got rid of all that. If you just made a regular match and people were fighting with the 32 and a couple bots, sure, but you couldn't make the bot farms anymore. And also you couldn't make Call of Duty maps anymore, or any other type of map that goes with another game. So now they got rid of the XP farms in the thing, and then they did this. So if you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So we do appreciate you for coming out and hanging out with us. Okay, so casual mode added to Battlefield 6 with 32 bots on each match. Now, what I find funny is, if the game was so popular, right, if the game was doing so well, why would they start adding bot matches within the main feature of Battlefield? Now, obviously, you look at the numbers, there's a lot of people playing. Okay, there's a lot of people playing, but their number one goal here is that they already sold 8 million copies, 8 million copies to the people that paid 70, 80, 90, 100 bucks for whatever version you paid for. Okay. And now they have the Battle Royale, which is free to play, and they have the Gauntlet mode, which is free to play. And those people can just play the game for free, and then they can also buy microtransactions. Okay. So that is the play. They want as many people to come in as possible so they could buy the microtransactions or buy XP boosters so they can get up the battle pass so they can then get the guns unlocked or whatnot. So EA, DICE has added a new casual breakthrough mode for Battlefield 6 with the new update accessible via the core multiplayer menu. The new mode is designed to be a more comfortable entry point for new players, allowing them to rank up while fighting mostly bot enemies. Tell me that you've never played Battlefield before. Now, obviously, I know 2042 added bots. Okay, I know there's more bots in games, but the reason there's bots in games is because there's less players playing the game. And they want you to subconsciously think that you're actually good at the game, right? Because a lot of people don't care if they're killing 60 guys a match or whatever. They just want you in there to feel good about yourself, so that way you can continue playing and paying money. Okay, that is it. That is what they're doing. Okay, they don't care if you're playing against real people or bots. Right? Obviously, if they did, they wouldn't be putting this into the actual game. Okay? They just want you to know that you could buy a microtransaction skin or a gun skin or XP boost and play the game how you want to play, which is fine. But at the same time, you're literally destroying Battlefield, because Battlefield used to be just Battlefield. You play against 32 other people, 64 other people in a large-scale open world battle. Okay? And now you're playing on short maps with 4v4 or 8v8 or 16 versus 16, and you're playing Portal and people are shooting into a one doorway to get XP farms, or they're playing Battle Royale, or they're playing Portal and doing jet fighter flying through hoops or tank races and stuff like that. You've completely and utterly ruined the brand of Battlefield in general. Okay, it's the second lowest Battlefield by rating to date. The only one lower is 2042. Right? Everyone says that Battlefield's back, but yet it needs to get fixed in so many ways, shapes, or form. And because Battle Royale launched last week, they literally, in my opinion, killed the Battlefield name going forward. It's done. It'll never be Battlefield. Remember that the way that you like Battlefield, that is gone. This is it now. This is Fortnite. This is, you might as well put Rock Band in here and some tank racing with boosters, right? It doesn't matter anymore. Battlefield is gone. Okay, it says it's stated by EA that teams will consist of 8 real players apiece and 16 bots per team. Bots are making life easier. Diehard Battlefield fans have argued that the kind of mode shouldn't exist outside of the portal, but here it is. And why is that? Why is that? Because this is the way they've made a game now, right? The community said this is what we wanted. They see the data, and they're like, this is how many people. And they said, we have a massive drop-off that happened because we stopped the bot farming. And they went, well, how do we fix this? Well, the community wants bots in the actual game. So, there it is. Okay. Now, the key thing here to note is that any action against bot characters will reward reduced XP while taking on human enemies yields full rewards. Initially, on the Siege in Cairo, Empire State have been added to the map rotation, but it was stressed that EA DICE will be monitoring feedback to determine if further adjustments are needed in the future. The only thing that doesn't align with the core multiplayer experience are career stat updates, dog tag grabs, and accolades. Fans are quick to share mixed feedback in the comments section under the post, with many defending the addition. The vibe is, if you don't like it, don't play it, which makes sense. I mean, it never worked when EA told you, if you don't like it, don't buy it, and Battlefield 5 failed. When they told you that you don't want to buy it, when the comic book person said, if you don't like my stuff, don't buy it, guess what? They went bankrupt as well. I mean, these are hard things to say. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Cool. But at the same time, I didn't buy Battlefield 6 because I knew this is what was going to happen. It wasn't hard to figure out. Okay? I didn't buy it. Only when it comes to Game Pass, down the line, will I pick this up because I knew what they were going to do. But to say, if you don't like it, don't play it, these are people that don't understand fundamentally about video games. If you're breaking up the player base and you're making 16, if you have 5 modes, three to 5 modes, cool. But you have Battle Royale, you have Portal, you have the Breakthrough, you have Conquest, you have Escalation, right? You have so many modes coming in. You have the new 4v4, okay? You have all of these things that are happening, and now you put in bots on top of that. So when someone tries to come into a regular game of 32 versus 32 Conquest, and now they can't play or the lobbies don't fill up because everyone else is going somewhere other places, it fundamentally hurts the game. When it starts to fundamentally hurt the game, guess what? they stop supporting certain sections because no one's playing the actual game. And the reason they're not playing the game is because there's no people in the actual game. So if you're going to make a PvE only mode or majority PvE and you can still do the stuff, what's the point of making Battlefield into a multiplayer game? It doesn't make sense. Okay? If you just want people to basically farm a battle pass just so they can get cosmetic skins that they can't see in a first-person player game to play up against other bots that don't care what they're wearing, I mean, make it make sense to me, chat. Make it make sense. Okay, it says, one concern is that some players will find it an inevitable way to turn casual breakthrough into XP farm mode. But let's hope Electronic Arts has its eye fixed firmly on the data to avoid what's happening. They don't care about the data as far as, hey, look, we have 80% of the population playing against bots. But what are they spending? Well, 20% of the 80% is still spending money on the microtransaction store because they feel good about themselves. Fantastic. We've figured it out. This is what we're going to go forward. It says, will you give casual breakthrough a try? Or are you comfortable enough with the standard mode? Let me know on the Insider Gaming Discord server. Right, this is for the Insider Gaming channel. Because if they did breakthrough, what's to stop them from doing Conquest? What's to stop them from making the Battle Royale feel like there's more bots in there than actual players, right? Look at Fortnite. Fortnite does that right now. Fortnite actually lowers the 100-player account and goes down lower, and they put bots in the lobby, so you're actually not even going up against 80 real players or 100 real players. You're going up against 40 real players, okay? Because they want you to go do quests. They want you to go do these different things. They've completely changed the fundamental aspect of what Battlefield 6 is, and people look at this now and say, well, it's a win. Let people play the game how they want to play. But this is not a PvE game. This is a PvP game. And now that they've added PvE, you know, they've kind of even separated the player base even more. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of the other other videos. Appreciate it. See you on the next one. Let's see. Jesse says they're doing for years and years now. Woke skins into Battlefield 6 soon. Why? Because of EA. Mr. Luke says, don't like it, don't buy it. What the fuck? Yeah, it makes no sense. A game for everyone is a game for no one. El Dente says, I only play the fun Battlefield modes, and my friends that didn't buy it forced me to play the Battle Royale and Gauntlet. But not my cup of tea. Apparently, you're not alone. The numbers didn't dramatically increase because of the Battle Royale. Now, is that because of other games coming out? If that's because people don't want Battle Royale, is that people don't want to play Battlefield Battle Royale, right? Jesse says it's all about the store now. Every game they're making right now. They don't care about the player base anymore. Nope. Remember EA? Was it EA? EA was the one that said that for every minute you're in the game is $1, right? Basically, they keep it right on. This is why Arc Raiders is putting microtransactions in the store. This is why I just don't get first person. First person doesn't make any sense to me. You don't ever see your character. Right? But this is why they're all going it. Mr. Luke says, I'm so glad I didn't get it. I think we would have a different outlook, Luke, if Arc Raiders didn't come out. Do you know what I mean? If Arc Raiders was not in this moment, I think a lot more people would be playing Battlefield 6. I do. I think a lot more people would be playing Battlefield 6 and they'd be scooping it up and going, this is so good. And honestly, like, everyone's like lowering their standards of what Battlefield could be. And they're like, yeah, it's Battlefield's back. Battlefield's not back. It's not back. It's literally a mid-tier game. It's a minimal viable product, and they're using the name to prop up the actual, like, the game to make it sound better. But really, it's not. It's not better. I think 2042 right now, 2042, 4 years later, is a better game than Battlefield 6 right now. And they have shitty maps, right? They have shitty maps when they first started Battlefield 2042. Those maps are much better now that they fixed it. Well, now they have shitty maps in Battlefield 6. 18 months to fix the pain. Oh, I played change of note real fast. The event this weekend, not really a good event for Fortnite. My son wanted to play, so I went in and they have the Simpsons. The map's actually really good. And again, nostalgia. They changed the whole island to the Simpsons, and it's actually really fun. It's actually I like running around that map. Map wise, I can agree. Everything else, I don't. You agree with the maps are bad or good? You're talking about Battlefield 2042, El Dente. You're agreeing that the maps I can agree with, but everything else I don't. Well, they've basically turned 2042 into a regular Battlefield game now, even with the special classes and stuff like that. It's a much better game than Battlefield 6 is right now. Because Battlefield 6 is, even the stuff that's good in Battlefield 6 is still far off from being like fixed and better. Too many game modes. And people are just happy because they're playing Battlefield again. Like a modern Battlefield. Jesse says, new Skate 4, I called, so much players are now leaving, and they're saying it's very bland. It is. I mean, I had fun that one night that we played it on stream. I played it twice. I played it off stream with my son. I played it on stream. I had fun, but it was very just whatever. But their whole thing is that they're trying to sell cosmetics in that game. Simpsons map, I've downloaded it, not played it yet. It's fun. It was funny because my son's never seen The Simpsons. Never seen The Simpsons. Right? And I go, what? Bart and Lisa are not in the battle pass? He's like, yeah, he is. He's right here. I go, that's not Bart. That's Homer. That's the dad. He goes, oh, I thought that was Bart. I was like, no. I go, that's Homer. I was like, Jesus, we got to watch. He's like, oh. So now he's like starting to watch some of the cartoons. Altair says they might already be playing the next Battlefield or planning the next Battlefield. Oh, for sure. Eldeli says the one thing I really want is to pin the game modes I want in the menu. I don't like small scale things. I played Battlefield for big maps and fights. But that's the problem, though, El Dente, right? That is the problem. Their mentality is they want to go for Call of Duty guys, right? Regardless if you like the big maps, I like the big maps, you like Battlefield, I like Battlefield. They said, how do we get more people into the game? They marketed towards the Call of Duty guys. They're still marketing towards the Call of Duty guys, right? The people that are Battlefield fans are like, no, it's not Call of Duty. It is Call of Duty. We're not saying that the game feels like Call of Duty. They're changing the fundamental values of what Battlefield 6 is to make the Call of Duty fans buy and play this game if it's for 5 minutes or 5 hours or 500 hours. It doesn't matter, right? They want them to buy so the number goes up, and then they can just sit back and go, yeah, it's successful. They don't care. They're fundamentally changing what Battlefield is. You can play it and enjoy it, but know that the game that you're playing, that EA created, is a minimal viable product of Battlefield. It is not Battlefield. It's Battlefield's husk of a body, okay, with Call of Duty elements in it and now Battle Royale elements in it. They know they can't get the numbers. They know they can't get the numbers. So they have to trick the numbers by pretending they were doing what they wanted to do. Okay. Thank you very much for the cheers. I appreciate that, Wonder Rose. Okay. Because they want the numbers to go up, they had to know that if we do this, we're going to get this amount of people in. And if we get this amount of people in, this is the best ability that we have that people can buy microtransactions. When they did that, and they're selling XP boosters and stuff like that to get you up the battle pass faster, that's when they've completely lost what Battlefield is, in my opinion. So, look, I want Wonder Rose, thank you very much for the 200 bits. Right? I want Battlefield to be good. I do. But at the same time, this is not it. If you guys enjoy it and love it, great. Guess I took their advice. I didn't like it, so I didn't buy it. It's great. right? I can still comment on how fucked up it is and how bad it is and what they're changing to do because I'm not wrong. I didn't buy it. I put my wallet where my mouth is, and my mouth says that this game is broke, buggy, and unfinished. It's not Battlefield, and I won't buy it until it is, and I'm never going to buy it because it's never going to be Battlefield again. The next time I play it is when it comes on the Game Pass or EA Plus, whatever it is. And let me tell you, it's going to get there pretty fast because the player base is going to drop off the cliff in a couple of months. Battlefield 6 will drop off like it's a single-player game. Jesse says, you can actually sit down on the couch of the Simpsons house. Players are also creating the Simpsons intro, and then sitting on the couch is just hilarious. I haven't seen that. I walked into the house. I was like, this is pretty cool. I think it's great. I think it's cool that Otto's driving the bus. I think it's cool. It's just... Say what you want about Fortnite and Epic Games and what they're doing, but they have figured out something that no other game can do. They're a big advertisement board. They're an advertisement board that can constantly change and adapt to whatever they want. Like the next thing is supposedly supposed to be like Harry Potter. Okay? Like it's mind-boggling to me what Epic is doing and how much money they make just off the advertisement. Teaming up with the brand. What did Disney pay? $1.5 billion. What did Legos pay? $2.1 billion. What are they paying to have The Simpsons just come in for a short season? It's absolutely crazy. It's insane. They've done something that everyone would love to do. Hence why Call of Duty is putting Nicki Minaj and Beavis and Butthead and all this other stuff in there. Another says Fortnite is crazy. How innovative they are with the game. Yeah, it's crazy. Mr. Luke says, Fortnite have a great crossover. Yep. Imagine if they had invested that much work into Save the World. Well, they did in the beginning, right? 8 years of development time to get there. But make a game, sell a game. They made a game, but nobody cared about buying the game that they were selling. Simpsons or Disney too? That is true. They did buy The Simpsons because they bought Fox. I wonder, holy Christ, this is a mini thing. See, I wonder how this is going to happen in the beginning, right? I didn't even think about this, Luke, because obviously Disney's doing their own thing, and they showed that map a long time ago of like Marvel Land and like Star Wars Land and all that stuff inside of Fortnite. It makes me wonder, is this the test for Disney to have their first island, which is The Simpsons? So when Disney starts to announce what they're doing and they open up that one giant game, do you think Fortnite cares if you're playing inside of Fortnite or playing inside Legos or playing inside of Rocket League or the music? You're going to log into Fortnite. You're going to go into the Disney section of their thing. And then within their section, there's going to be potentially, it could be the Simpsons Island. There could be the Marvel Island. There could be the Star Wars Island. There could be the Pixar Island. You're going into there, and that whole map is Pixar themed, and you're doing quests in the Pixar map. When just like the Simpsons is now, you're doing Simpsons quest item type stuff within the map, and it's there all the time. And you can just go play the game against bots or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The player base will be so split, and there'll be so many different things, because now Fortnite, you log into Fortnite, but you're not in Fortnite. You're in Disney's section, or you're in Lego section like they're doing now. That's crazy. Right. All extra passes. Crowded says, Mike, why do you think so many people get upset when PvP games do well? It's because they fear more companies will pivot to PvP or something. I don't think they fear. There's a difference between, I think, the companies and the people, right? PvP games are very successful, obviously. I mean, you can look at the competitive scene, you can look at CSGO, but let's be honest, more people play CSGO because of the microtransaction gambling fest that's going on there with the skins, right? People like playing PvP. A younger crowd likes playing PvP. Now, if you played PvP when you're younger and you grow up, you still like PvP, but your time, because if it's your age, your reaction speed, or your time, okay, or a mixture of all three, you tend to not like PvP. Not because you don't like PvP, it's because you want your time to be respected, right? So when a game comes out, and let's say a Transformers game comes out, I love Transformers, right? I loved back in the day that there was a single-player Transformers game, and there was also a PvP mode, okay? Where if I got tired of playing PvP, I could just play the casual mode. I would love, and which got canceled, okay, a Destiny-esque Transformers game where I'm just playing PvE, going up against stuff, but I also would have liked a PvP mode. But I don't like, okay, minus Battlefield. Battlefield is the only game that I love PvP, 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 PvP. I just loved it. Playing with my friends, playing with the thing, because it was a team PvP. All the other games are small squads, solo play, kill streaks, all of this other stuff. The reason I liked Battlefield so bad, okay, or so much, I should say, is because it was a team effort to get the win or the loss. There was 64 winners instead of 3 or 2 or 1 type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't about getting kill streaks or anything like that. This is why I like Division. Division has a PvE, PvP. This is why I like Destiny. It had PvE and PvP. This is why I like Arc Raiders. Okay, it has a PvE, PvP, a little bit more blend mixture, right? Because in Division, you had to go to a certain section to do PvP. In New World or World of Warcraft, there's a section that you go into for PvP, or you flag in to become PvP. It's not constant PvP. There's less people that like to play PvP. As in my example earlier in the show, House, is that PvPers want to shit on the lower common denominator, which is the lower guy, which is the PvEers in this game. They're like, I don't want to play PvP, but I have to play PvP because I'm in there with PvE, all right? So all these guys are not the greatest, but they're also not shitty. They just want PvP, and they can't go compete against Shroud or Tim the Tatman or Dr. Disrespect or all those people. So they shit on the lower guys that don't want to compete. They shoot. These guys never shoot back. The PvEers never shoot back. They're like, that's it. It's over. They die super fast, and you'll see them in Arc Raiders. They'll be like, you fucking asshole. I have nothing on me. And they're like, sorry, bro. And they punch them. They're like, that's it, which is fine. But the PvEers never fight back for the PvPers. They're just like, I'll just go in again and try to do it again. These guys feel like kings. But as soon as they get shit on, they're like, right? They don't like what they're dishing out. The upper echelon, which is the smaller percent of PvPers, okay, will always shit on everybody because they're just good. Just physically, mentally better. They know where to flank. They know where to go. They're just younger. They're quicker. They understand, okay? So when you force people into a PvP, PvE type of thing, this is why the PvPers are upset that Arc's there, okay? And this is why the PvEers are upset that the PvPers are there, right? That's how it works. This is why Destiny worked all these years. This is why Division worked all these years. This is why a lot of more people play PvE than PvP, right? They dabble in the PvP, but more people play PvE games than they do PvP games. Because PvPers move, get bored, and they move to the next PvP game, right? Someone's going to come in the chat right now. I've been playing this game for 10 years. Great. You are a 1%er. Congratulations. Congratulations. The Dark Zone in the Division was brilliant. Yeah, because when you were bored of doing the PvE aspect of the stuff, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go in the Dark Zone. It was opt-in. It was an opt-in thing. Division, Destiny, even Warframe has a PvP, but no one really plays it. But there's an opt-in type of thing. That way, if someone wants to opt into PvP, you know that the people there want to play PvP. But if you force people, some guy is picking flowers, and you come up behind him and shoot him in the back, and then talk shit to him. He's like, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? That's who people like to shit on. Hence why cheaters do what they do, okay? Because they shit at the game, and they have to cheat to make themselves feel better about the game. Same type of thing, right? They want to shit on the lower people to make themselves feel better that they're better at the game, which really they're not. They're just fighting someone that doesn't want to fight back. You ever see those fight videos on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, where someone's punching and the guy's just standing there taking the beating because he's like, I don't want to play. I don't want a PvP. I don't want a PvP. Travis says 30. I know also for me, I want a good story in my games. PvP never have that. That's not true. There are games that have good story with PvP. I mean, there's a PvE aspect in the thing as well. I was opt-in, but also you lost your stuff. You'd also try to take out not what you brought in. Right. That's what I don't understand. Don't, like, for instance, Marvel Rivals. That's a PvP, right? That's PvP. But right now there's an option to play against the bots if you want to play against the bots, right? Because you're just tired of sweating and competing. You just want to level up your guy or whatever. Now they added a PvE mode. Well, why? Why? Because there's more PvEers that would play that game, but they didn't always have to constantly do PvP, right? They could take their time and just level up and unlock something and work their way up the battle pass or whatever. Buying Arc Raiders is opting into PvP. Yes and no. Yes and no. Right? Like I said earlier, Rob Jones, when you play solo, there's PvP there, but less PvP. There's more people in solo that don't want to play PvP, so it's almost like playing PvE. Now, are there people in there? Yes. And like I said earlier, if you find people to group up with, and there's one guy that's running around being toxic, I say toxic, he's not really being toxic, he's just playing the game how he wants to play it, okay? He'll get double teamed or triple teamed or quadruple teamed because these people that are playing solo all want to complete the quests. They all want to progress the story, okay? Where the one guy is just trying to shit on the people that he knows that don't want a PvP, and he's probably better than them, but they'll win over the masses. And remember, buying Arc Raiders, remember it was supposed to be PvE. They said it after the game came out that they didn't want to make it PvE because it was kind of boring. It wasn't good. So they added PvP. But now the masses come into the game. They see how people play. They see what people do. Hence why I compared it to Fallout 76 as far as that was supposed to be PvP. And they made it PvE because the player base was like, we're not going to fight. We're not going to do what you want us to do. And they had to fundamentally change the game. This is why I said Arc Raiders will have a PvE mode down the road. In some way, shape, or form. If it's less XP or whatever it is, they will put a PvE game mode inside of Arc Raiders. Aku says, a good story as he plays Shadows, Outer Worlds 2, and more games with poor story. I don't know if they have good stories or not. I'm not interested in those games. Outer Worlds, I like the first one. Obviously, things came up, and I'm more interested in other games now. So Outer Worlds will go on the back burner for me. I might play it, I might not. Double the bot count for PvE. I mean, here's the thing. Down the road. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying the arc. Double the arc. In some maps, there was way more. I went to Spaceport, and there's a shit ton of arc. There's like 7-to-1 ratio. I was like, what is happening right now? there was some, but yeah, stuff like that, al dente, right? Where if you have more arc and they want to play PvE and they're teaming up, let them. Here's the way I look at PvP and PvE. If the PvEers don't want to play PvP, then when they go into a PvP match, you're not playing against people that want to play. So they're just going to let you shoot them and kill them and whatever and move on with their day, right? There's really no satisfaction for the people that are playing PvP. They're like, yeah, I own them, but they didn't have anything because they're there for the quests. They're not there for the actual like loot or gear. But PvPers don't want to compete against other PvPers. Now, I've been watching Shroud, and there's some really good matches. And when you're done, there's like this respect. They're like, hey, good match. They're like, yeah. Every once in a while, you'll get someone that's like, I fuck you, asshole, right? And they're like pissed off. But for the most part, when two people want a PvP, there's a good battle going on. When one person doesn't give a shit and the other person's sweaty as fuck, it's like done in 3 seconds. There's no battle. And they think they're better because they shot someone that's just standing there. They don't care. They're just like, I'll just go back in. Arc Raiders respects your time because even if you die, you're still getting XP. You're still getting scrappy to get you gear, like loot. So it doesn't matter if you die. They're just like, I'll just go back in. And that's why most people don't care. But when they go into solo and they find other people that are doing the exact same thing as them, the PvPer that comes in solo is going to get his ass kicked because they're all teaming up against that person that's being toxic, even though he's not being toxic. Yeah, I'm over 200 and something. I'm one after that, Luke. My next thing cost 90,000, I think. I think the next one I is 90,000. That game is not set up for PvE only. I could tell it would get dull after a while. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You put some missions in there and quest lines. It's like Destiny. How many people did the exact same thing in Destiny over and over and over and over and over? A long time. How many people played the First Ascendant and do the same things over and over and over and over? You don't understand. PvEers will play the same thing over and over. Marvel Rivals, right? I'm sorry, not Marvel Rivals. Marvel's Avengers played the same thing over and over and over. You get dull, but dull to who? The person that plays PvP nonstop is the same person that plays PvE nonstop. They just do it. Altair says the free loadout is amazing. Yeah, I go in with a free loadout, see if I can find something, and if I get out, cool. If I don't, no big deal. Right? And if I go in with a prison pocket and I find that one item, or I have a hatch key on me, just in case, right? Just in case. I'm like, I found something cool. I have a hatch key. I'll keep it on me. And then if I start getting under fire, I'll go in, I'll drop the key into my stash, move the thing that I want inside my prison pocket. And if I die, I die, but I still have the thing I came for. And if I get escape and I don't want to go to a bunker, I go to a hatch and dive in. It's great. It's fantastic. It respects my time. Same game as these enemies, but Helldivers. Would have been a great game. That's actually a great point, Travis, right? Why would Arc Raiders get boring, but Helldivers works? PvP is replayable, like sports games. Every match is going to feel different. PvE is the same way. I drop in, I'm over by the water tower, and then all of a sudden there's a bastion there, and I fight the bastion. I die. Next time I come in, there's no bastion there. All of a sudden I get good loot. I get to escape. Oh, but there's a raid happen, or the Arcs calling back up. It's different every time I play. It's not the exact same. It's because of the way that the NPCs react. What you're saying for PvP is the exact same thing for PvE. Every time I play Helldivers is different than the last time I played Helldivers. But they're going to have to add some kind of narrative or something. There needs to be a goal. Helldivers is set up for that. There is a goal. Are you playing Arc Raiders House? There is a goal. There's quests and different things that open up. There's quest lines to go to certain places to progress the story, to do different things. What do you mean? You saying what you just said there shows me that you don't know that. Exactly, Water. If he was playing it, he wouldn't have said that. Exactly right. You play with a tech test, that's fine. There is so much stuff to unlock and do in this game. There are story elements. There's cutscenes and stuff that happen. Very generic cutscenes, but they're cutscenes that tell you to progress the story and whatnot. There's plenty of stuff that opens up. There's stuff that opens up at level 20 that I haven't even got to yet, that I see other people playing. Right? Shroud, who is, I've been watching a shit ton of, okay? He's like level 43, 45, 46, I forget what he is. He, Mr. PvPer himself, who loves playing PvP, he's like, I'm addicted to the quest lines in this game. I'm addicted to the quest lines in this game because they constantly open up and give you more things to do to unlock certain things. He goes, and when I'm done with this season and going back into the next season, I have to reset. He's like, I'm going to do it all over again. Crowd says the devs said the game was boring. What do you want from me? No, you're taking it out of context, though. They said the game was boring from what they built back then. It was boring as far as it would be. They put the PvP element in there. But what you're saying is it would be repetitive. All games are repetitive. The person that's playing Helldivers is doing the exact same thing every single time, but it's different every single time. Yeah, there's different factions and stuff. But every time I drop into that map at Arc Raiders is completely different because the way they fundamentally made the game, the way they developed the game is completely different every time you play, regardless if there's PvP or not. The structure of the game, the foundation of the game is a really good game, regardless if it would be PvE or PvP. People shot into a goddamn cave in Destiny, and that was fun for them. Come on now. Warner says, do you play football? Yes. I know you hit the ball with the bat to run towards the home run. Yeah. Mo says, the first Descendant is fire. We got new update coming soon. More story, new Descendants, new weapons, new areas. Can't wait to get them. Do we know the player base number for that, Mo? I know Krebsy brings it up every once in a while. He says that he thinks it's going to close down next year. I mean, it's been around for what, 1 year so far? Like 1 full year? Did it come out in November last year, or did it come out in February that year? When did that come out? July. It came out July of 2024. Oh, that's right. We played it in November of 2023. Then it launched in July of 2024. So it's been out for one year, 1.5 years. I said it would be around for like 2-3 years. I just don't know the player base. I'm just asking. It's just Mo. It's just Mo. Yes, 30. It's just Mo. They'll be using ideas from Arc Raiders for games in the future. I think a lot of... Here, let me go back to this. I think these events right here, I think this is going to be more of a Helldivers thing. These community unlock events are going to be just like what they do in Helldivers. Right? We need the community to kill this many leapers. We need this many people to kill this many things or loot this much stuff inside the world. Right? That's Helldivers. We need you to protect this planet. We need to kill this many bugs. We need you to kill this many wasps. We need you to kill this many bastions or leapers, right? Or queens. So everyone has to work together to do that, right? All of a sudden, a PvP event, everyone's working together because they need the queens so they can get, as a community, something unlocked, which leans more towards PvE. Or they could do the opposite and say, we need this many raiders dead with this gun, right? They're making these events like Helldivers. They saw what they're doing and they're like, we could do stuff like that. Robert Jones says, Helldivers, Arc Raiders, and other titles are random by default. A lot of other PvE games aren't random. At once you solve the encounter, it can be boring, but yes, see behind the veil. That's actually a good point, Jones. What's happening in Arc Raiders and what's happening in Helldivers, even though it's PvE type of stuff, randomly stuff that happens. The director in Helldivers changes that. In this, the Arc changes what's happening with PvP or PvE, and the random of where the spots of the loot appear or what's inside the loot appear is different every single time. Travis says, I mean, I'll play the first Descendant over Arc Raiders any day. I get it, but Arc Raiders is a much better game. By fundamental from the ground up, Arc Raiders is a much better game than the first Descendant. It's not even close. Which is fine, Travis. You can like single-player games. But Arc Raiders is probably one of the better games in this generation. Arc Raiders is probably one of the few next generation games of this console generation, for sure. Kraken says the first Ascendant gameplay is literally you just swiping the debit card. All right. Speaking of microtransactions and live service games and replayability, all right, let's go with the third story here. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay. Destiny Rising revenue dropped 65% in October of 2025, says a report. Okay. So it says Sensor Tower estimates showing Destiny Rising mobile revenue fell 65% in October of 2025, even after launching in China mid-month. Destiny Rising, a mobile looter shooter spin-off from NetEase. And can I just say, even when this thing launched, I haven't heard shit personally. And I read a lot of news stories and stuff. I have not seen a lot of noise about this game. Now, maybe you guys have, and you can notify me, and it's huge or not. But I haven't heard absolutely nothing about this game besides you guys saying when it came out, you guys played it and whatnot. Okay. But I haven't seen a lot of stories about it. Okay. Not to say it's not popular in any way, shape, or form. It's just weird to me. Set in an alternative universe, the gacha title offers pretty much everything you expect in the main Destiny game. Raids, strikes, PvP, and even fan favorite modes like fishing. Sparrow racing and also a full photo mode. It's basically the mobile, what if Bungie actually added all those features Destiny 2 players have wanted for years. The non-minimal viable product on a mobile game. That's fantastic. That's exactly why the game launched, was met with so much praise. Right? Longtime Destiny fans, whom were skeptical at first, were impressed by how many features the game launched with and missing from Destiny 2. Okay? But even with the warm reception from the core community, the latest data suggests that these things might be slowing down on the business side, at least for now. Destiny Rising revenue reportedly dropped 65% in October. According to data aggregated from Sensor Tower, okay, Destiny Rising mobile earnings took a sharp drop last month, following 2 strong months after its August 28th global launch. Well, what do you mean first 2 months? It was August and September. If October, it wasn't even a full month. It was the end of August. The end of August, and no one's talking about this game. Okay, according to data, Destiny Rising generated $3.86 million in mobile revenue for the month of October of 2025, a 65% drop from the month before. He says we've compiled the estimate revenue and downloads for Destiny Rising month to month, which can be found below. Okay, August 2025, 2.03 million revenue, 732,000 downloads. Okay, September 2025, 11.13 million in revenue. 1.8 million downloads. Now, I have a question. Is that individual downloads? So this is 1.8 on top of the 700,000? Or is this from 700,000 to 1.8? I guess it would have to be, it would have to be separate, right? Because this is downloads as well. October 2025, 3.86 million revenue, which is 206,000 downloads. Well, this is a sharp down spiral, because look at this, right? This number here is a little skewed, and here's why. This came out August 28th. So you had August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Is there 31? Yeah. So it's 31 days in August, right? So you had 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. You had 4 days. 4 days, and you had 732,000 downloads in 4 days. In September, you had a full month. A full month, and you got 1.81 million downloads. I wonder how many people. Let me see something real fast. I would have to go look at the actual. So August. Yeah. So 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. That's 4 days. That's the end. That was a weekend. And then September came. And then they had 30 days in September. I would assume that most of these people would have, if it was August, this would be cut in half. Right? So cut it in half, right? 1.8, it would be about 900,000. Okay. Would you have to take the 900,000 and put it into the first month because the first month was only 4 days? Okay. So actually this number would actually be bigger in the first month if it was a full first month, but yet it's less than the second month because it had a full 30 days. And now it's at 602,000. So it's actually gone down every month. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense, chat? Right? If you take this in half, take the 900,000 and bring it into here, okay, you would have 1.6 million. Then you would have 900,000, and then you would have 602,000 because this is a full month, and then this is a full month. I'm sorry, this is a full month, and this is a full month. This is only 4 days, and it had 732,000. So Destiny Rising mobile launch started fairly small in August of 2025, pulling in roughly $2 million in estimated revenue. Well, yeah, because it had 4 days during the last few days of its debut month. Okay. Then came a huge surge in September. According to the Sensor Tower estimates, monthly earnings jumped from 11.1 million on a 1.8 million downloads. That's a 440% increase in revenue and 147% jump in downloads compared to August. Again, 4 days compared to 30. I don't like the way they're pushing this. Okay. If anything, just show the first 30 days, not the first month. The first 30 days because the second 30 days. Okay. September's spike reflects the game's first full month on the market, helped by the post-launch events, marketing push, and the strong word of mouth from Destiny 2 fans. I'll be honest, I didn't hear anything after the first weekend. By October 2025, the earning momentum slowed. Revenue dropped to 3.85 million. That's a huge drop from 11.1 to 3.8. Okay, while downloads fell to 602,000, that's a 65% decline in revenue and 67% drop in new installments from the previous month. Even with the cooldown, Destiny Rising has now reached around $17 million total revenue across roughly 3.1 million downloads since launch. This is going to close by this time next year. This game will be dead this time next year. Okay? Senior Tower October 2025 revenue breakdown of Destiny Rising shows that global regions outside of China made around 3 million. Mainland China contributed to 825,000, roughly 21% of the month's total, and Hong Kong, Taiwan added another 30,000. It's also worth mentioning that Destiny Rising officially launched in the mainland China on October 16th. In just about 2 weeks, the game generated 1 million in revenue. Okay, well, hello. Did they forget that they made $2 million in 4 days in August? Like, what are we talking about here? Okay. The game generated $1 million revenue from the region. However, it's important to note that these figures are market estimates based on Senior Tower data. They're not official revenue numbers reported by NetEase. NetEase is already teasing the next big update for Season 2, Seasons of More, introducing a new Void character named Morrow. So this is basically the first Descendant, right? So what do you think about the Destiny Rising and the revenue figures? Let us know in your thoughts and comments below. Well, I'm going to go roughly with this right here. Again, I'm splitting this in half because this is 30 days. This is 4 days. And this was a full month. I think the first month you would have the most actual sales. Okay, so I'm going to say this is a 1.6 million downloads, which brings this down to 900 million downloads, which then brings this one down to 602, right? Because if this was a full month, okay. So by that point, if you take the 1.6 down to 900, you're losing 600,000. And then from 1.900, you're losing another 300,000. So we'll see this month. We'll see what November is if they ever tell us the data. But I think you're going to go from 602,000 to around 300, late or high, I should say, high 290,000 to 300 and low 310, 315,000 for November. And this number is going to drop more and more as the months go on because there's other games out there. These are mobile games, by the way. Yes, there's millions of people that play it, but this doesn't seem very good, at least from my point of view. Okay, I think it's going to keep dropping month after month after month, even with the next season coming in, because right now you have 3 million people. What did they say? 3.1 million? Yeah, 3.1 million downloads. So you have a small percentage of the 3.1 million downloads that will come back for season 2 because they've already put time in to see what it is. But if it's the same old, and it's nothing big changes, they will, drop it like third period French again, and go back and play Call of Duty, Battlefield 6, Ark Raiders, any single player game that comes out, right? Like they're going to leave in masses with this. And then you have Destiny Renegades coming out in December as well. Okay. The people that are playing this game right now are tired of Destiny. They're waiting for the next Renegades to come out. As soon as that comes out, they're going to go back and play Destiny Renegades, and that number is dramatically dropping as well. I'm going to make a prediction, like I said just a couple minutes ago, but my prediction is Destiny Rising will be dead they'll be here all 2026, but come 2027, Destiny Rising will no longer exist. They will shut down the servers because the amount of money they're putting into it and the amount of money they're getting out is not good. So Destiny Rising will be gone come 2027. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. Waterbird says they need more than $500 skins. Altern says they deserve that drop. That game hasn't added anything to keep players. I played it for about 2 hours. Yeah, I'm good. Altern says the game is dying because they haven't added anything. Well, even when they add it, it's not going to bring everyone back. Gacha characters, which nothing compared to other gacha games. This one is empty. The First Ascendant Season 3, Episode 2, assembled November 6th. Kraken says, Destiny Descending. That's right. We'll see what happens. That's my thing. So you have to... We'll clip that and put that in the archive. All right, what we got here? Let's go to Twitter. Let's see what we got going on the Twitter space. We're going to be playing Ark Raiders this afternoon in about 1 hour from now. We're going to start our stream over on 30 and Still Gaming, our other channel. It's just all straight up gameplay. If you like it, come on over and hang out with us for the Ark Raiders stream starting around 12:45, 1 o'clock. Bungie is gone, and so is Destiny. I could say the same thing about EA and DICE. DICE is gone. DICE is gone and Battlefield's gone. It's sad. As a fan of any franchise, seeing, them not keeping that franchise alive or completely changing from what it was sucks. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's coming. It's coming, guys. It's coming. My video that's almost 3 years old, talking about World of Warcraft will be coming. Right? Is World of Warcraft planned to dumb down for Xbox and PlayStation console versions? It's not there's no reason for us to hide, this says the game director. The conspiracy theory emerged after exclusive report on the next-gen Xbox from unlikely places. WoW fans are worried that Blizzard is reducing the game's complexity, all right, of the mythical console port. It's not true, says. Right? It's a new interview with us. Well, that means there is a console port. World of Warcraft latest expansion of War Within is winding down. Players will soon move to World of Warcraft Midnight, the next part of the World Soul saga. And taking this, is also Fight Her Way to Sunwell, is revamped area of the Northern East Kingdoms. Midnight has also a variety of improvements of Horizon. The new Void infused specs for Demon Hunters is a vast variety of default UI improvements, an outdoor bounty system called Prey, and a revamped Silver Moon City all await players in 2026. The biggest headline act is player housing, which also a massive system design. Okay. One of the most controversial changes in Midnight revolves around the class design of essential mothballing, also a combat add-on. It's also part of the grand plan to dumb World of Warcraft down for console Fortnite crowd. Stay your pitchforks for now. Okay. It says, is World of Warcraft trying to become a console game? No, says, okay. He says, when I reported the next Xbox will essentially be a PC, some outlets misrepresented the direction of Microsoft is taking for the console, coinciding around the conspiracy theory that Microsoft is somehow forcing Blizzard to dumb down WoW for the next Xbox. I have a question. Why would it be dumbing down the MMO when there's so many other MMOs that are on console? Right? We have Final Fantasy. We have Thrones and Liberty. We have New World. We have what else we have? ESO, right? There's quite a bit of MMOs that are controller oriented, right? So why would they freak out and say they're dumbing it down? Because it won't be dumbing down. You're just going to have your UI and macros and stuff on PC. And they could literally make it where console players just play with console players, which wouldn't hurt anybody on the PC side because it's a whole new area where people are playing. But then you have the people that want to play on both, cross progression or whatnot. So I'm a little confused why people are saying if it's dumbing down, but why would it dummy down? Because they can't. I mean, you could hold LB or RB to open up the bars and stuff and do everything that you could do just like all the other games do. So I'm a little confused by this. Right, so Midnight will make a combat add-on more restricted. The popular system is also weaker auras affecting being killed off in the scenario. Some theorize that the killing of add-ons is specifically so Blizzard can bring the game to Xbox. But since the next Xbox is literally a PC, would have no issue running Curse Forge or offering access to the system files to include add-ons. Well, obviously, they want... How do people not put two and two together here, right? If Microsoft is trying to put their games everywhere, let me repeat that. Everywhere, right? Everywhere. Okay? Meaning you could play it on the television set. You could play it on a mobile phone. You could play it on a computer. You could play it on your console, right? You could play it wherever you want. It's not that they're dumbing down what the game is. They want everyone to be able to play that game everywhere. Do you understand what would happen if World of Warcraft was be able to play in all those locations? Potential, because the people that are already paying or playing World of Warcraft, nothing changes for you. Nothing changes for you. But the potential other people that can come in and play World of Warcraft for the very first time because they don't own a PC and they can play on their mobile phone or they can play on their television set or they can play on their console and they can play on PlayStation. Like, I don't understand how people don't understand that businesses want to make money. Okay, it says that no issues running Curse Forward and also on add-ons. It says Blizzard has said for some time now that they want to make a game friendlier for gamepads as Steam Deck and Xbox Ally play via the console port add-ons and become increasingly popular in recent years. But that's not the goal with Midnight's overreaching combat design changes, says game director. Okay, he reiterated that there's still no roadmap for console version of the World of Warcraft at this time, and they won't tell you that. They won't say it out loud because if they do, then people will be like, "Well, I'll just hold off." Right? They don't want to say it. When they're ready, they'll tell you and say, "Oh, here it comes." Is Midnight's class combat design philosophy inspired by charge to target gamepads? It is not. Okay, it says, to be fully transparent, there is no reason for us to hide anything about this. If we were actively working towards bringing World of Warcraft to consoles or a bunch of other platforms, we'd say it. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, because it's above your pay grade. And you're not allowed to say stuff like that. Okay? We're actively working towards this to have a lot more work to do, but in places where you also land, our focus remains on PC-based experience. You can play World of Warcraft right now with a console, with a controller. Right now, you can play with a controller. Okay? A lot of these things changes as a package about the approachability broadly. World of Warcraft is an incredibly complex game, as much as also knows members of the community are celebrated the complexity. But think, there's a big difference between having a very high skill ceiling in the game and having a tremendous amount of depth. And just having the complexity of Blizzard's goals with all of our games is also to have it easy to learn and nearly impossible to master. And I think a lot of changes of World of Warcraft and Midnight are aimed at improving the easy to learn side of the spectrum. Well, why would you want to learn? Why would you make it easier to learn? That's because you're putting it everywhere. It's because you're putting it everywhere. If the people that are playing World of Warcraft are playing World of Warcraft, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, chat? The people that are playing World of Warcraft are already playing World of Warcraft. Right? 30 million people, right? The people that used to play World of Warcraft that don't play World of Warcraft, they would love if World of Warcraft came on to console. They would play again. They would. Okay? The reason they're doing it and making it easier for onboard people is because they're expecting a massive amount of people to try it out on a platform that costs a lot less money. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to put it on Game Pass, and they're going to put it across all platforms. Minecraft is there, right? World of Warcraft could be there. All these other games can be there. Why? Play anywhere. That's what they're going for. Okay? It's as thick as the ceiling of the game is still going incredibly high. The people who have been pro-level PvPers, people who run Mythic dungeons, people who push also the leaderboards in Mythic, the people who race the world's first, they're going to be the same ones coming onto the top of this world, in this world. They're also going to be the countless challenges for people to tackle as they approach perfection. He says, quote, "We've been talking about this for over a year now, philosophy. This is used as stepping back and taking a stock in the state of the game. What requires to play it well, what requires to play at the baseline level, considering by the community at endgame, what is normal or heroic rating guild expecting you to know or having installed or to do. What is the advantages of Mythic plus Pug is expected of you. It's about making these exceptions more reasonable." Why? The people that are putting the time in already know what to do. Time is time. They want more people to play the game. They're dumbing it down because they want to put it everywhere. Explain the changes of the design to lower the complexity for new players. How many new players do you think they get? How many new players do you think they get every month? Never played World of Warcraft a day in their life. The challenge is high end for those who seek it, while encouraging players to continue offering feedback of areas that could also perhaps use more work. He says, quote, "The changes we've seen making in the class side, for example, unlike the last round, pruning out that we did for 8 years and 10 years, we actually just focus on heavily of the button count in terms of numbers and abilities of your spell book. And we mostly pruned utility abilities that also may be filled in as a commonly used by the average player." They're dumbing it down because they're going to put it there. Right? He says, "The feedback we've gotten around what we're doing, a lot to harm class or spec identity, that actually in some ways lower the skill ceiling. We're also taking niche abilities away that let players feel cool or smart or different themselves because they were also using them properly. Weren't using them properly. But what we were doing back then is slightly simplify the core combat rotation of 100% of the players need to do. That's more of an approach we're taking here today." Again, why? The people playing World of Warcraft. Let me ask you something. Anybody still playing World of Warcraft in my chat right now? Between Twitch and YouTube. Any of you guys still play World of Warcraft to this day? Okay. If you're not playing World of Warcraft, how many years when you played World of Warcraft did you play World of Warcraft? Okay. How many years did you play? I played from launch to 2011. So it was like 5-6 years. Okay. And then I traveled a lot and I couldn't play, so I had to stop paying. Okay. But I played 6 years. Okay. People that are playing World of Warcraft either played for years or are still playing. Altern said 0 years and still counting, never played it, never will. Okay, it says, "I'm going to say we finished it. We've also done a perfect job there. It's also starting a point of overall approach. The team is continuing to be iterated over the course of Midnight, Alpha, and Beta to follow." He says, "The specs emerge more complex than others, and we explain the Beast Mastery remains intentionally amongst a more approachable specs. This remains popular, even if it's the first isn't winning in sims or tier lists, owning the playlist friendliness," he said. "However, some specs are introduced or intended to offer more complex style of play. Even more simplistic specs should feature opt-in complexity via talents." Well, I agree with that. Opt-in's always better instead of forcing people. Right? There's also certainly places where you also might have gone too far. This is the simplest way you're going to get. Whatever pruning we're also going to do upfront before hearing from players. We've also heard from some of the players that we've gone too far, and they feel like the gaps in the rotation or beloved abilities what are missing. These are things that the team is very open to returning. That said, it's not a bad place for us to be range complexity of some of it comes in different specs, The number of specs we have in the game, we also have a point, particularly pure DPS classes, where you have 3 options. It's okay if the first one feels a little simpler, more accessible. There's also a very healthy appetite amongst the broad base of players who simple specs. So do you want everything to be that? No. We also want to be more challenging specs, particularly in the specting into certain talents where you can opt in for extra layers of complexity. Again, they're not saying it in this article. I'm saying that the reason they're dumbing down the stuff in the game is to get new players to come in. If you can't get new players to come in, and I'm assuming they expect a crap ton of new players to come in. We used to talk about Warframe. Warframe used to have... I thought Warframe was actually a better game once you started playing it than Destiny when it first came out. Okay? A lot of people didn't like it. Why? Because there was a wall. Like, it was this to learn Warframe. Okay? Where Destiny was this. It was like this nice little curve that went in where it's easy to pick up, but it was like a mastery to learn what was going on with the raid and whatnot, right? Warframe was like hit the wall and then climb and scale the wall, okay? Well, what did Warframe do over the time? Well, they lowered the wall, right? Where they gracefully made people learn what was going on, added more story, added other things in the thing, opened the world, and now more people play Warframe over the years because they made it more casual or dummied it down, okay? This is what they do across the board for many games. Because if a game company needs to make as much money as possible, and you've gated off a community where they couldn't get to, look at Elden Ring, okay? Elden Ring, all the Dark Souls games were very hard, and they had a very small group of people, very dedicated group of people that played the Dark Soul type of games, right? Not until they made it widespread where it was easy for people to come in. And if it was hard, it's still hard, but you could bring a buddy in with you, okay? And you can have a buddy play with you to make that boss easier. They didn't make it dummy down, but what they did was they made it easier for people to come in and play together. And guess what? Elden Ring was the biggest game they've ever sold, okay? So did they dummy down Elden Ring? No. Elden Ring is still hard to play if you're playing solo, and instead of you could bring in someone else to help you lower the curve to come in, and you could still go around and explore and get the things that you wanted. But when you went up against boss fights, you could call in a friend or call in a stranger to come and help you. Okay, so stuff like this. Why are they lowering or dumbing down World of Warcraft? Is because Microsoft owns them. And Microsoft wants more people to be able to play the game. And if they can lower the curve to get more people into the game by putting it on Game Pass, by putting it on the television sets, by putting it on mobile phones, guess what? They will. Right? They will. Because they want to make more money. Right now, they only make this much money from the battle.net. Well, they want to make this much money. They want to make so much money. And they can't do that if it's super hard. They already got the money from the people that have been in there for years. 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, 12 years, right? They got your money. You like it or you don't. Asmongold loved it for years and then stopped playing, right? But to get more people to come in, more casual, so they can buy a microtransaction or buy a DLC pass, and you leave that open by just putting them on Game Pass, if they pay the $15, $10, $15, or even the $30 mark to get that in there, that's what's going to happen. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Why do you think they're doing what they're doing for Xbox, or I'm sorry, for World of Warcraft? Are they dumbing it down for Xbox and PlayStation 5 versions? Or are they just doing this because, they feel like they need a change in World of Warcraft? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some other videos. Thanks for watching. Robert Jones says, we're not dumbing down the game. Proceeds to tell us how they're dumbing it down. Altern says, just like Sea of Thieves, they added the PvE-only area a few months later, came to PlayStation 5. That's right. That's right. Because they have to make it easier for people to come in. Why would be... I don't want... If you brought Sea of Thieves over to PlayStation, it was just PvP, they would be like, I don't really want to play the PvP game, but they made it where you could do safer seas, and then months later they brought it to PlayStation 5 because it's easier to onboard people to come in and ease into the game where they play PvE, and then they're like, you know what, I think I'm going to try this PvP stuff. Alternate also says, seamless co-op, best mod for Elden Ring. Robert Jones says, I prefer when they dumb it down for a new title rather than changing the existing title with new features. But here's the thing. Are they dumbing it down for the people that are already playing the game? They're only dumbing it down for the controller, right? You could, let's be honest here. If you're a World of Warcraft player or any kind of MMO player, you have add-ons on your system where you have your whole board up on your screen, okay? Like, you have all these, they're making it easier for themselves because obviously it would be ridiculous if they had no add-ons, okay? So for the PC player base to be like, oh, they're dumbing it down, you literally dumb it down yourself by adding on the add-ons to make it easier for yourself to do all this crazy shit that you need to do. Because without that, you can't do what you're doing. So would those people leave the PC to go play on console? No. So how does the console player, right? One word, macros. Yeah. How would the people playing on console, even if it is dumbed down, affect the people that were playing on PC? They dumb down the whole combos. Yeah, it's like Helldivers if you have a Steam Deck. Instead of me going up, down, left, right, you push a button and it dummies down the thing that gives you a little bit of anxiety when you're trying to get your bomb out or your call down stratagem out. Look, these guys doing what we're doing without the add-ons, noobs. Exactly, Altern. Like, you guys are dumbing it down to make these guys able to do stuff that we used to do before we got the mods on it. It's like, huh? What are we talking about? You can still do the stuff that you want to do on PC. What, are they upset because now these people can play the game that they've been playing for years? You had a 15-year head start. What are we talking about? You still have all the knowledge, okay, of all the things that you've done. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Roic says, I would think they would build those add-ons into the base game, so you don't need them. They did that already with some of them. Right. Look, controller's been on World of Warcraft for 2 years now. I don't remember a lot of people complaining that someone can play with the controller. Because how does my gameplay experience affect you? Like, I'm just confused. I mean, would they be okay if console players could plug in a keyboard and mouse and play World of Warcraft on their console? Would they be okay with that? I gotta add this to the description because I didn't know I was gonna talk about this. I just scrolled down Twitter and saw it, and I was like, oh, okay. All the articles that we talked about today are in the description down below. Make sure you guys check them out if you want to read them yourself. Microsoft would be a complete idiot or idiots not bringing World of Warcraft to console. It would mail them to a lot of money off of it. Of course. I've even said that Battle.net would get merged into Game Pass. Over 2 years ago, I said this. Let me see. I think it's over 2 years ago. Let's see. World of Warcraft, Game Pass rumors. Is that it? No, that's not it. There's another. There's got to be another one. Show all. Yeah, World of Warcraft is coming to console. I made it on November 7th, 2023. So there you go. We're almost 2 years out from when I did that. It was seen 10,000 times. Had some pretty good interaction for a channel my size, especially 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I had half of the subscribers I had now. All right, what time is it? It is 12:10. All right, we'll be back. We were done this morning for the daily grind. If you guys like what I do, again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All the links are in the description down below of all the news stories that we went over today. You can also become a member, a paid member, if you want to go above and beyond that. If you want to help us out, you can also purchase a product down in the description down below, as far as a mug, a shirt, a hat, or whatever. Or you can listen to our music that we make over on Spotify, Anchor.fm, what else? iHeart, Pandora, iTunes, Apple Music, all the places that you can listen, stream, or download or buy. You can also go to those sites. We appreciate it very much. We'll be playing some Arc Raiders around 1 o'clock over on 30 and Still Gaming. You can also find that channel down below as well. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. See ya. Peace.
The smile wide in the keynote light. Talk about passion, art, and pride. We believe in people in every voice. Right before they cut the staff, no choice. Your favorite game just hit record profit, stocks in the sky. Then the devs get pink slips through the door. Tell me, what the hell are we cheering for? Nothing means anything anymore. Truth's just branding dressed in metaphor. Billions that ask for more while burning down the hands that built the core. Nothing means anything anymore. They sell you dreams with a world premiere, but every trailer hides the fear. Crunch time silence, sleepless nights, so suits can shine in neon lights. They say we're like family, we care, we grow. Then toss you out for the quarterly show. And when you
We value transparency. We're committed to diversity. We're excited for the future. Then lay off half the damn studio. What a joke.